Welcome to the story of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, like you've never heard it before.
This story isn't told to you by the one Dragonborn that masters all, but told to you through the eyes of many different characters.
From soldiers in the Civil War seeking peace and order,
to seeking freedom and to remove the weakness from her lands.
From those cursed by the night, seeking to be the vigil in the darkness.
To warriors seeking honor, glory, and companionship.
To a shapeshifter and worshipper of the Daedra who seeks to live a life as a warrior.
To a mage seeking power and the arcane knowledge of Aetherius.
To assassins seeking fear and bringing the cold touch of Sithis.
To thieves seeking wealth beyond measure.
We all hope you enjoy
this story
of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Journeys of the Dragonborn, Episode 4, The Unknown Path. I continued my magical training under Minerva's guidance for a few days. She taught me how to throw sharp ice pickets, which I would find useful, but my favorite had to be the fire. Nothing feels better than blasting fire out of your fingers. Now I can understand why dragons use it against us all the time. Minerva also taught me how to summon this little goblin thing from Oblivion. She called it a scamp. She calls it Oblivion's rat on 2 legs that loves to shoot fire at you. I can see why she calls it a rat. It's an ugly little bastard, and it reeks. The thing smells so bad that summoning it would cause my attackers to leave from the smell of this thing. But in large numbers, these things are very dangerous. Claws, teeth, or magic have claimed the life of many who have faced them. But I've decided that it's time to hit the roads again and go word hunting. So I've told my companions to be ready. Now it's all because of this dream I've been having whenever I sleep. I don't know why, but these words keep calling out to me in my dreams. I hear the chanting I normally do when I'm close to a word of power, and it shows me the entrance to this cave on a snowing mountain. Then it leads me inside, where I can just see a fate of it. So I've decided to do something about this, and go and find it. But I don't even really know where it is. But somehow I do. It's one of those strange feelings again. I've just learned to trust them. So I know I'll find my way there. Just be hard trying to convince the others to follow me on odd dreams. It's hard trying to convince myself to follow these. Yes, Ragni. Just go out into the wilds of Skyrim and find this place you've only seen in your dreams. That's totally a sane thing to do. You don't sound crazy. Yeah, right. The things I do. How is anybody going to write about this? If there's another Dragonborn out there, or after my time, how in Oblivion will they make sense of the strange things I've felt or read about the strange things I do? Well, I have to survive this if there's to be any stories written of me. I hope those stories are told in bard songs. The Bardic Dragonslayer, the Dragonborn Bard. I wonder what they will call me. Who knows? I could very well end up being the very last Dragonborn if Alduin wins this. That Jarl thinks he can dictate who comes and goes with me. I wouldn't waste my time on people like that. Minerva is 10 times the person he could ever be. All right, now I just have to convince them of my plan.
So, you gave us little time to prep, but we're word hunting, yes? We're heading off to Highgate Ruins and then Labyrinthian?
Not exactly. We're going somewhere different. I've had this dream the last 3 nights, showing me a word of power. A Nord ruin on a snowy mountain. Around these parts, I guess.
Wait, you don't know where we're going? We can't just travel out into the cold on a dream. This is Skyrim Dragonborn. She's rather unforgiving.
Well, I don't know where this place is, but I have a feeling. And well, my feelings have always proven true so far.
You're going to travel out into the wilds on a feeling? Are you serious, Dragonborn?
Wait up, I believe her. I've had something like this before, a recurring dream. I followed it from Whiterun to Solitude, so I believe what she is feeling is true. I'll follow her lead with this one.
Wow, I never thought I'd hear this come out of your mouth. You're meant to be the reasonable one, Senturos.
I agree. Out of everyone here, I thought you'd be the one telling Ragni this isn't a good idea.
Do not talk about me like I'm not standing here. You're going to have to trust me. I thought following me into the Dragonfires, I already had that. I can't explain it. But I'll know where to go. And why are you looking like that? I've told you, you never have to hide who you are around me. I don't care what people think about you. They won't dare touch any of you. Plus, we have worse things than vampires for the locals to worry about. I'm going to this ruin and I'm finding this word. If you're willing to follow me into the Dragonfires, you should be willing to follow me into the unknown. Who is with me?
I will, Dragonborn. Point me in a direction, and I will eliminate everything in your way.
Me too. I do like a good path that leads to the unknown.
Yeah, I'm up for it. Sounds like fun. Count me in, Dragonborn.
That's good to hear. Wait, whereabouts is the Nightingale?
She's up there.
I'm with you, Dragonborn. You lead, and I'll be your shadow.
Well, that settles that. Within an hour, we head out. Well, while they sort everything out, I might go have a few meads. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Father always did used to say a few meads in the belly kept the monsters away. Before my family was destroyed by the vampires. Before my father changed. He always laughed about his travels on the roads. I always remember his stories started with, "Before we set off, it was ritual for us to visit the tavern before we traveled the roads." Well, let's see if a few meads keep the monsters away. Then again, my monsters have wings and breathe fire. I might need more than 2. If I have more than 2, Senturos and Tonrak will be carrying me to this ruin. It's embarrassing to say, but I'm a Nord that really can't handle her mead. But that's because I've never really been a big drinker. The last time I got drunk, I met Senturos. And well, that was an eventful night.
Hey, you. Are you with the Dragonborn's forces? You don't look like one of those college milk drinkers.
Sorry? Yes, I'm with the Dragonborn's forces. Why?
Well, me and my friend here are looking to join up. We're adventurers, mercenaries, bounty hunters. Whatever really suits, really.
Well, the notices do say any and all are welcomed. What are your names?
I'm Cora, and this is...
Asami. My name is Asami. It's a pleasure to meet you, Dragonborn.
How did you know it's me?
Well, the stories of your fiery eyes. They say the Dragonborn's eyes are like dragonfire.
I forgot how sharp those eyes of yours are. I'm sitting right beside the Dragonborn, and I couldn't even tell. Damn.
I would be honored to have you both, but I need to tell you that the risks are high. We will be fighting dragons, creatures of legend that once ruled over Skyrim. Are you sure you're up for such a task?
We do. You lead.
And we shall follow.
Dragonborn, everybody is ready to proceed and follow this dream of yours.
Well, now that's good. By the way, we have some new warriors who have just joined us. This is Cora and Asami.
Oh, I already know of Cora. She's an expelled college student. Had a natural talent for magic, just not the temper to control it. She destroyed her room in a fit of anger.
I wasn't expelled. I left. Couldn't stand all those stupid rules you have. Went out and did my own thing.
Wait, you're also a mage? Forgive me, but I really didn't see that at all.
I'm not. Not really. My mother was a mage, a powerful one, and I was cursed with it at birth, you could say. I went to the college to help me control it, but they were useless. So I found more creative ways to use my magic.
Well, it matters not. If you're willing to help me kill dragons, I don't care about your past. Welcome to the both of you. Please, for the love of Talos, treat everyone with the respect you would like to be treated with. And I mean everyone. All right, everyone is ready to move out. Good. Now the real question is, which way do I go? That way or that way? That way feels the proper way. My gut feeling is telling me to take that path. This feels right, but the others are right. Leading them through Skyrim on dreams. It's stupid. If Senturos would have told me it was so, I would have listened. But he agreed with me. I'll have to find out later on what this dream of his was. Very strange indeed. At least I'm not the only one having them. Back out here again. I've found myself going through this path many times. Feels like yesterday I was here hunting for the Elder Scroll. I don't remember there being this much grass here the last time we were here. It's hard to imagine this place not buried in snow. Well, summer is a week away, so we're not too far off from seeing the sea of grass the North will hold. I've only ever seen it a few times in my life. By Talos, feels like it was forever ago I was here. Wait, what's that? Bandits, time to clean Skyrim of its filth! They stood no chance against the power of my voice. If only they chose to live a better life and not prey on innocent people. Whoa! Where did that come from? Hold down! You sneaky little bastard, you're going to regret missing me. Her people were already rare in Skyrim. How she makes the rest of the Khajiit look bad. Pity. Doesn't this bring back some memories? I came here to find an Elder Scroll that would reveal a weapon in hopes of killing Alduin. I hoped back then it would be that easy. But well, I wasn't ready to face him down, and now the rest of Skyrim is paying for it. Now I'm traveling Skyrim looking for words of power, so when the next time we face each other down, I won't be some weak mortal that he can just fly away from. Up there seems like the right path. I do feel as if we are getting closer. It's like following a smell, but with your soul and ears. It reminds me of when I was but a girl and could smell Mother's cooking while me and Lisra were outside playing. That smell always brought us inside. This definitely feels like the right way. I feel like a slaughterfish on the scent of blood in the water. I know for certain that I'm getting close. It's so peaceful out traveling Skyrim, and not a dragon in sight for the last few days. Maybe they're staying away, but while they're not attacking us, I'll enjoy the quiet. Look at this place. It's pretty impressive, but it looks like a perfect spot to ambush someone, or even worse, for a dragon. We'd be lined up and ready to cook. This passageway looks ancient. I wonder how many people throughout all of time have come through here. We're no doubt walking in the footsteps of thousands of people who have long left this world. I know I walk with those who are undead, but please know, mighty Arche, that they are here with me to protect those living under your watch. Protect them as you would the living. Oh no, what's happened there? It's a Thalmor and an Imperial? Are they enemies now? No, it's just some bandit. The Thalmor did something good by killing that filth. Rest well, elf. You died well. If only they weren't hunting Nords for their beliefs. They could be doing some good out here. Imagine if they aided the Jarls of Skyrim hunting the filth. That's how those Thalmor could win the people of Skyrim over. But it's far too late for any of that now. Look at that view. Isn't Skyrim a majestic place? Come to think of it, I'd rather be nowhere else but home. Tamriel can wait. Ah, more Thalmor. Are those Stormcloaks? I had hoped this truce would work for everyone, but I should have known better. Like I said, the Thalmor are too far gone, and if given the chance, any Stormcloak will kill them on the spot. Seems the Thalmor won this battle. I wouldn't stick around, elf. Mine won't kill you, but there will soon be a patrol that will. This place, it feels right, like I'm near. That there, those are ancient Nord structures? That dwarven building. I saw that in my dream. This has to be the place I saw. This has to be the place. I knew I'd find my way here. I don't know how, but I just knew. Yup, this is definitely it. I saw this arch in my dream. I can't believe this worked. Let's get in there and find this word of power. Wait, there's someone here. Sounds like there are two people up ahead. Here they are. I want to find out why they're here.
We should be inside loading up on treasure. Worry Scales here thinks we should wait, though. Don't get any ideas either. We were here first. I don't care what Beam says. It's high time we get in there and find our fortune. Not without us, you aren't. I'm sure there's enough for everyone, after all. Come on, Beamja. We're going. You can't
Wait,
shake us off.
don't just run in there.
Let's see
They're
what's
filled
here.
with traps and the undead. Damn it, let's get in there so they don't die straight away. So far, this place has only been filled with spiders. But if we didn't follow them in here, they surely would have ended up spider food. Disgusting 8-legged bastards. Can't trust something with 8 eyes. This is the chasm I saw in my dream. This is definitely the place. This will prove to everyone I'm not mad. Senturos left most of our forces behind to protect this point. Only a handful of us will go deeper. It's a smart move. Too many of us go down. There's no room to move in those ancient corridors. Quite a few Draugr ahead. I'd rather face the old Nords than the spiders any day. Nothing a bit of fire can't fix. That warrior, Lyris, one of Tonrak's people. That is a force to reckon with. I'm glad she's on our side. We cut our way through this tomb's guardians to find the wall I saw in my dreams. We still had a few more bones to take out, though.
Hope you're ready to lose.
Finally, I was here. Now I could learn this word of power without it hindering my sleep. The word was Z, which meant spirit. The wall translated, Nafni raised this stone in memory of his father Ragnvald, whose spirit will forever guide his clan and haunt his enemies.
Huh?
Fool. I should thank you. I knew the girl wouldn't be strong enough to help me kill Gathric alone. There's just one more thing I need from you. To fully absorb Gathric's power.
What?
I require
Is this lizard
blood
serious?
sacrifice.
Is he going to betray me right
Your
now?
blood should be
What's
good
with
enough.
wizards thinking they are all
This will
powerful?
be easier for us both. Don't bother fighting.
What a moron. He could have at least waited until we left and killed his companion. But I'm glad he chose me today. I'm glad that this Salma wasn't to be harmed.
Father never trusted Beam. I always thought he was just being overprotective. Look, I never needed treasure. My father owns land, our family is wealthy. I just wanted adventure, not this. Go on without me. I think I need to be alone for a while.
Who was this Gathric the Argonian was here to absorb? Looks like he was an ancient dragon cult soldier. But his weapon? It was a dragon bone blade. There's no way one of the dragon's loyal soldiers would use their bones as weapons. He must have betrayed the dragons and fought for freedom. And when he died, was placed here to rest. Well, I hope so. There's something calling to me. Again. It's coming from over there, where the breeze is coming from. By Talos, this was a long way up. Where was this leading me to? Wow, look at that view. Is that the Whiterun Plains over there? How beautiful. It's so peaceful up here. It feels as if the air up here is cleaner and I can breathe easier. What a beautiful spot to see all of Skyrim and its beauty. It goes further up. I have to see what the view looks like from up there. The dwarves built something up here. Interesting. Look at that. It's like I can see all of Skyrim from up here. Sometimes you need to be up high to see Skyrim for all of her beauty. Such a magnificent land to be born into. Wait, did you hear that? That sounded like heavy footsteps. The very ones I heard the day I became Dragonborn. Couldn't be. Normally they're roaring across the skies. Hard to miss if one of them was here. Damn it, watch out! Ice wraiths!
What was that?
Well,
Victory. For now.
Now that that's all cleaned up, I wonder what this is all about. Why did the Dwemer place this up here? Oh no. Everyone be ready! Where in Oblivion is this thing? It's landed. Thank Talos. It doesn't know where up here.
Well, Dragonborn, you were right about all this, as I knew you would be. That should prove to the others that you're something a little different. And well, this view, isn't it something? Sometimes I forget how beautiful these lands really are. Being up here makes you forget about all the trouble down there, all the blood and war. Up here, it's like you couldn't care less about who controls this land. It's just, well, peaceful.
It really is. You forget about everything down there when you're here. It's like you feel safe up here, like there's no bad in the world. The Greybeards told me, if I find a high open spot, I can hear the voice of Kinnereth, and her voice will lead me to words of power that call out to me but can't reach me on the ground. So I might give it a try. This meditation thing.
I wonder what this is meant for. Those lenses. Maybe this was placed here by the Dwemer so they could see above ground. That would make sense. They would have been keeping an eye on things from down below. Maybe this is one of the lenses that lit up that dwarven armillary. That would also make sense. Senturos, what is she doing so close to the edge of the mountain?
Listening to Kine or something to find more words of power.
This is interesting, that the Dragonborn can hear words of power through the wind, through their connection to the goddess of air, Kinnereth. Something for the books. Ah, Lyris, this is a woman I'll never forget. Big enough to leave a dent in a dwarven centurion if she punched it. Oh, it's you. Hello again, Lyris. It's been a long time. Sorry I haven't come and talked to you. I've been busy. Very busy.
Huh? Who are you, elf? How do you know me?
Wait, you don't remember me? That's disappointing after what we went through.
Of course I remember you, elf. How could I forget the fearless elf that helped me break out of Cindermine? The ears of an elf and the heart of a Nord. All you elves might look the same, but I could never forget you.
Thank Magnus. That was a long time ago. I'm proud to see that you ended up here with me after all these years, fighting with the Dragonborn. I sometimes wonder where everyone else is. I wonder if that Stormcloak soldier made it back and if she's still alive. Or that young redhead, or even the other Altmer, and that forsworn woman. I wonder where they are now.
You were disappointed I forgot about you. And you don't even know one of them is with us. That forsworn woman is Vova. She's with us right now. She's the one wearing the leather armor with the wooden leafy bow.
Wow, I didn't even know. It's like old times, coming together for survival. I wonder where the rest of them are.
Well, I know Sonirika is still alive. The redhead. She's a wench at Skystone for Sigund's forces. And that Stormcloak, her name was Brela Longfoot. She's there too. Fights under Sigund. So they are still alive and in the same place. What was that elf's name? Ah, yes, her name was Cyrindil. The High Elf's name was Cyrindil.
Cyrindil? She died at Fort Sunguard. I'll never forget that day. It was when the dragon attacked. She fought under the 99th cohort. It was strange having a high elf in my ranks, but she never really cared how others saw her. She was always there for a joke or two. She was one of the good ones.
That is a shame indeed. She was always the joker when we were locked up in Cindermine. It was because of her that I trusted Minerva to get us out. Before then, I thought high elves all hated us. But she didn't. She was funny and sweet.
Why did she join up with you anyway? She didn't talk at all for loyalty for the Empire. She was a mercenary like Lyris was.
She was. The Empire hires mercenaries into the Legion. They become one of us for their contracted years. She joined up for gold and was sent my way after her skills were noticed. She was a good fighter. I remember her face. I remember all of them. I've lost too many good people to this damn war. And for what? It just feels like they have died for nothing. For someone to rule the snow we soak red with the endless death.
Surprising. But I do agree with you, Senturos. This war is just a waste of lives. While Brother Slaughter's sister, the Thalmor, grows stronger. At least for now, there's no war. It only took extinction to get both of you to fight together like the old days.
Yes, the Thalmor do grow stronger while we kill each other. With all that's happened in the last year, I don't know what to make of the war anymore.
It worked. I managed to find the location of another word of power, and it's near. I sat there listening to the breeze and the birds, and all of a sudden I could hear the whispering of a word through the wind. I felt like I was a bird flying through the wind, leading me to a place that is really close. It's within a stone's throw of here. We should get moving. Won't even really take us 5 minutes to get there. Can't believe that worked.
Okay then, Dragonborn. We'll go let everyone know. Glad to see that worked.
Ah, there you are. Was taking so long I sent most of our forces into the inn. Was about to come up there and see if everything was okay. What took you guys so long?
The Dragonborn decided to talk to Kinnerath or something up there. Helped her find a new word of power or something.
Wait, you were talking to Kain? Now I'm truly jealous of you, Dragonborn. What did she say?
I wasn't talking to her. I guess I was listening. Was something the Greybeards taught me. Something that could help me find words of power. They called it letting the winds guide you. And they did. There's a word of power not far from here. Be like a 5-minute walk, it's that close.
Well, you've certainly proven these weird feelings of yours are real. I'll gather everyone and we'll head off to this next place.
There'll be no need for everyone. Let them enjoy themselves at the inn. This place is literally down the road. We'll stay here for the night anyway.
Well, the Dragonborn was right. She knew where to go. I can't understand it. But I'm not the Dragonborn. I guess I'm not meant to. She's had another vision of another word wall, and she says it's really close. I couldn't even begin to understand what she's going through, but I still don't like this wandering around Skyrim stuff. There always needs to be a plan. A time of day you arrive, area of attack, and a good exit. We need to plan all of this. For her safety and all of ours. Go wandering into the wrong place, and we're all dead. But at least this place is close. She says it's right down the road here. We won't need many people. Better sort out who we will be taking with us. Don't tell me so, but I know you were right in trusting her dream. I know I should have trusted it, but well, it was a little strange.
Look, I have no idea on what I'm doing here. I've got one job: keep the Dragonborn alive at any cost. I just knew deep down what she was saying was true, so I went with it. I did have something very similar myself.
Yes, we'll need to talk about that one later on. This strange dream of yours. Very interesting.
Sure, later on we can talk about it. But now we just need to get some people to visit this tomb in her visions. We should get in the inner circle, those I trust with Ragni's life. Freya, Cecilia, Minerva, Tonrak, and even the Nightingale. Even Rognik. He's always watching over Ragni, and our own troops. Let everyone else rest.
I'm sorry about your friend. He gave me no choice. If it wasn't me, he would have tried to kill you. Again, I'm sorry. Betrayal can be hard to swallow. I know this all too well.
Father told me to never trust him. He told me not to travel Skyrim with him or I'd end up dead. I thought he was just being overprotective. I shouldn't have left High Rock. He was right. To end up dead by the one person I shouldn't have trusted.
I understand. That feeling when your gut turns inside out when people you trust betray you. Luckily for me, I have all these wonderful people. And even Daedra.
Well, I have nobody left. I came here to explore the world, but am now on my own in a foreign country.
Well, that's not true. You have us now. I see the same fire in your eyes I had when I left home to explore. Sure, I stayed in Skyrim, but I see that very same fire in your eyes. You can come with us. You'll have plenty to explore and stories to tell. But that's if you're up for fighting dragons. They would be impressive stories to return back home to tell. If you don't want to, I'll send some of mine to escort you back to the border.
Wow, I heard your friends call you Dragonborn. The stories of you were even in High Rock. It's hard to believe I'm sitting beside the Dragonborn herself. You know what? I'll join you, Dragonborn. You did save my life in there, and traveling beside you would accomplish all that I left home to do. I shall have to write to Father, and let him know what's happened to me.
Welcome to the team, Salma. We're going to another ruin like this, that will have a word wall I can learn from. Let's get moving. Well, looks like that's everyone. Maybe a little too many. But then again, Senturos sorts all this out. If it was up to him, he'd have every legionary in Skyrim following me. We better get a move on. By the 9, this place really wasn't far away. They are pretty much built into the same mountain. This shouldn't take too long. Skyrim, a land of beauty. But like anything beautiful, there's a savage side to it. One that is truly unforgiving. I guess it's why us Nords are strong and considered the fiercest men and women of Tamriel. A couple of corpses came out of the trees. Those things will attack anything. Bandits. I might take the Cecilia approach on this one. No mercy. When we got inside, it was quiet. I thought that attack would have alerted their friends inside. But when we got in, they were dead. When we got close, those bandits didn't attack us. They must have been spooked. Maybe this was why they didn't want to fight. My best bet is they woke this ruin's guardians. There's something there. Let's see if I'm right. A corpse. Well, those who die down here are cursed to protect these places. So it looks like the tomb has awoken its protectors.
I wonder what the ancient Nords did in these sacrifices, maybe.
Damn, that hurts. I'll have to start using that shout more. Nothing more shameful than getting thrown around a room by a corpse. While the rest of this place was being cleaned of the undead, I went for a wander. Came across some poor fool who fell prey to one of this ruin's traps. I don't know how he didn't see that happening, but like I said, Skyrim is unforgiving when you make a mistake. It's likely to be your last. Bloody hell, this entire place is filled with traps. I can hear the word. I can hear its chant. I'm near. Not this time, Draugr. The word was Hal, which meant hand. It was my second word of disarm. The wall wrote, Brothy raised this stone in memory of his son, Odrav Anvilhand, who brought much honor to Clan Red Mountain. Well, all is done, but what now? It's only midday. Better see if the others have anything going on.
So what now? What's next, Dragonborn? Are we going on any more strange adventures?
I'm not sure. I was thinking about heading back up the mountain again and seeing if I can find any more words of power. Try my luck, I guess. We'll stay here in this area, and if I find nothing, I guess we'll head back to Winterhold.
The Dragonborn went back up the mountain to see if she could find any words of power. But hours had passed, and we heard nothing. A blizzard of all things decided to come by. So we set up base in the area. The ruined Silverdrift lair would be where all of our forces would stay, since it was a Nord city in its time. Ironbarrow, the first ruin we went into, was made as a tomb. Cecilia and her lot, along with Freya and the other werewolves, all went out for a hunt or to feed, so it was left to Sigund and myself to hold down the fort while everyone else was drinking or out. Once we all knew we were staying for the night, most of our forces went into the inn. Well, most of the Nords did anyway. I guarded the entrance while I froze to death.
You look a little cold there, Senturos. Any closer to that fire and you'll warm the rest of us up.
Oh, funny is it? While I freeze to death here, it's bloody freezing. How can you deal with this damn cold?
Freezing? What do you mean? This is warm. It's almost summer. This is by Nord standards warm.
Warm? Are you serious? Snow is falling from the sky. I'm not even sure you people know what summer means. Summer means no cold and no snow. The sun's out and you can feel the warmth on your skin. That's summer.
No snow? That doesn't sound fun at all. Snow is perfect. The cold, crisp air through your lungs. It reminds you that you're alive.
I don't know if you know this, Sigund, but generally breathing means you're alive. If you have to remember to breathe, you've already lived too long for this world.
Oh, funny guy, are we? Very funny. Look at Vitelia. She's an Imperial and isn't a little girl about the weather.
Must be a thing about betraying the Empire that keeps her warm at night. I guess if I start killing my own, my blood will go cold and I'll be immune to this cold too.
What do you know, boy? I fought for the Empire and they failed us all. Too cowardly, too weak, and corrupt. If only you knew what I knew, you'd be wearing the blue. Anybody willing to serve the Empire doesn't deserve to keep breathing. Every last Imperial soldier I've killed has had it coming.
Treaty be damned! A traitor through and through, you're nothing but a coward, and none shall follow the Dragonborn.
Whoa, whoa. Put the blade away, boy. We're all on the same team here.
Ah, look at this. The ultimate traitor speaks up. Not only did you betray us, but you also betrayed the rebels. You've got no say in this.
You talk of betrayal, but would cut a woman down where she sits because you're angry. I will say this only once. Put away your blade. Now.
Senturos, put away your blade. You're cold and angry. There's no need for this here. Svenvard is right. We're all on the same team. Let's me and you head down to the inn and get some mead into us around a warm fire, yeah?
The first 3 meads are on you.
I can live with that. The next 6 after that are on you. If you can keep up.
I've tried to sleep in this ruin, but I can't. I feel impatient, angry. I know these feelings are not my own. For some reason, I feel another's feelings. And I think I know who it is. The Dragonborns. I must go and see her. I must make sure she is okay. For a girl so young, she carries an immeasurable weight on her shoulders. And she hides it all behind a smile. But there are times I can feel the guilt, the sadness, and even the loneliness of it all. Yes? I must go and see her. I must make sure she is okay. For a girl so young, she carries an immeasurable weight on her shoulders. And she hides it all behind a smile. But there are times I can feel the guilt, the sadness, and even the loneliness of it all. I don't think the Nine sent me here to cut down her attackers. She has plenty of young warriors for that. I believe they sent me here to watch over her, like a father would. And the strange thing is, every time I look at her, I see my little Holder. How much they look alike. Whenever I see the Dragonborn in a fight, my first instincts aren't to fight off her enemies, but to protect her as if something was attacking my own child. I know deep down that is why I am here, and I need to go and check up on her, to make sure she is okay. She has plenty of people here, willing to give their lives to her. But I think what she needs is someone to talk to. Things that she can't maybe say to others. Well, that's what I feel at least. Most of her forces are at the inn. Ah, the good memories of celebrating with your comrades, living in the moment. But I haven't touched a drop of mead or anything since I married my Siggy. What was that? Stay back. I don't want to hurt you. I am sorry, child. You left me with no choice. What was she thinking? Alone and out in the cold? Ah, such a waste of life. I don't like killing people. It brings back horrible memories of the war. Even more so when there was a time you used to enjoy it. Slaughtering elves. The monster it used to make you. The monster you became to survive. I found farming to be a sweet release from such horrors. Growing on the land, raising my children. It was a great escape from my past. Then my boy went off to war and was killed. Then to find out that his very soul could have been eaten by the great evil of Alduin. This is also why I fight. For our honored dead, so they can rest in peace and celebrate with their loved ones in the next life. Not to be robbed of such glories by a dragon. Anyway, time to go and find the Dragonborn above her mountain.
Hold up. The Dragonborn doesn't wish to be disturbed while she communes with Kine.
I won't be disturbing her. I only wish to make sure she is okay.
Okay, I trust you, old man. I'll let you through. But I warn you, she didn't want to be disturbed.
Nobody really ever does when they're sad. We sit there out on our own thinking about everything. Everything we could have changed. Without realizing that we should have had someone there telling us that everything was going to be okay. Right now she's feeling alone and sad. I need to get to her quickly. I know these feelings all too well. There were times in the war when I lost good friends, people I could count on. And when I lost them, I felt like I was all alone. Damn, it's dark out here. Never a safe place to be in general, let alone your mind. But I guess being up this high could be freeing. But again, having your thoughts run wild up here on your own could be a bad thing. There's her camp. This place is quite freeing. It's a peaceful place. I can see why she came here. She doesn't look too well.
Oh, hello, Ragni. I thought I was alone up here.
You were, and that's why I came up. I felt that you might have needed some company.
Thank you. It's just, I haven't been able to find a new word of power. And I just feel like I'm failing everyone. The longer this takes me, the more people that die. And that's all on me. I'm the only one who can stop all of this. And it feels as if I can't do this. Everyone looks to me to save the world. But I'm not this hero everyone sees me as. The real heroes are you guys. You're the ones who left your lives behind to help me, to protect me. And so many have died already trying to do that. Their families will never see them again because of me. Their children will grow up without them. Their wives will sleep without them, surrounded by their warmth. I just can't stop thinking about it all.
Ah, Ragni, my dear. It's more than okay to feel these feelings. You carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. But you are the hero. To us, and those who can't be here with us. You're so young, only 19 or 20. And you're out here trying to stop the dragons. Not because you want to, but because you know others will suffer if you don't. You are only a child in my eyes. But when I see you, I see hope. And I even see my own daughter. You look so much like her. Beautiful and caring.
You have a daughter? Please, tell me about her.
Her name is Hulda, and she's perfect. She's my youngest of 3. She looks so much like her mother. And when I see you, you remind me of her all the time. I miss them dearly. I pray to the 9 I see them again. But only once we've completed this quest of yours, Dragonborn, shall I return home. What about you? Anybody waiting for you back home? Siblings? Parents?
No. All my family are gone. My mother and sister were killed when I was a girl by vampires. My father died only a year ago. The funny thing is, you remind me of him. I don't know if I've forgotten his face, or just replaced it with yours. But whenever I see you, I'm reminded of my father.
I'm sorry, my dear, for the loss of your family, and reminding you of your late father. It must be hard.
It's okay. I miss him. And seeing him again through you sometimes makes it feel like he's still here watching over me. Before the vampires killed my mother and sister, he was always so loving, funny, and caring. And I look back on that now, after he fought in the war. I'm thankful for the father he was. After they died, he changed. He went from being warm and loving to cold and strict. He would teach me how to survive, how to fight. Almost every day for 10 years. I hated him at times growing up. There were even times I told him I wished the vampires killed him instead. I said such horrible things. And without him, I wouldn't be where I am today. It's because of him I've been able to survive. I just wish I was a better daughter. I wish I could tell him I love him and thank you for everything he did.
Are you kidding, child? He knows. He would be the proudest father in all of Tamriel. He would be the talk of the halls of Sovngarde. Isgramor himself would envy him. It all explains why you wear that armor. Even before you were summoned to save the world, you joined the fight so others wouldn't suffer the same pain you did. Even before you were crowned Ismir, you were already saving the people from danger. Your father would have a smile from ear to ear, hearing of your exploits. I know he would be proud of you, because I am. You're so young and have the weight of the world on your shoulders, but still you fight on knowing you have to. Hold your head up high, my dear. You are the hero we all look up to. All of us would follow you into the gates of oblivion if we had to. Now get some rest and try this again tomorrow.
Thank you, Ragnik. It means a lot coming from you. I will try to remember this. And yes, I shall get some rest. Would you stay the night? Having someone close near would be nice. I'd love the company in this solitude.
What about your partner? I think she would get the wrong idea if I was to stay the night.
Serana? She knows I love her and I wouldn't do anything to hurt her. And she's out with Cecilia and the others for food. And plus, it's dark and a long way down. Stay the night. Knowing you're here will help me rest easier.
Okay, I will stay the night. You get some rest. I'll keep an eye out for a while. Good night, Ragni. The poor girl. She's got nobody left. Her entire family is gone. And yet she's out here just fighting to survive and trying to keep everyone else alive. The heart of Akatosh does sit within her chest. She's not alone, though. There are many that see her as family. Some fight for glory and gold. But some of us fight for her, because she fights for all of us.
welcome back to another outro. Still don't know what I'm doing with this. Just, I thought I'd, like, you know, nod that to that episode, The Unknown Path. I kind of try to, like, you know, build it from the idea that ended the last one, right? And then go on a certain path. So I thought I'd pretty much do this on this one and see where it takes me. Again, these episodes aren't planned, and if I was ever do this shit again, it probably wouldn't be in this way either. Like, to spice it up, I'd make the episodes completely different. But again, I wanted to go on a dream that she keeps having. She's had these dreams. She started having these dreams long before she was Dragonborn. The first one was at Marilla's beacon, and she kind of ignored it and just forgot about it, but eventually found it. And so now that she's Dragonborn, she's getting these dreams. She goes to sleep, and especially in this episode, she learns to somewhat do what the Greybeards do. Because honestly, man, if you want to find a new word of power, it's probably best to make the Greybeards your enemy. So you have to walk up the mountain every goddamn, like, or like faster up the mountain. Every time you want to learn a word of power, you can just make them your enemy, and then someone will send you a letter every time you do a shout inside of a town, which will just fast travel to another town, and you'll get the message straight away leading you to another word of power. So I thought, wouldn't it be beneficial that the Greybeards would teach the Dragonborn to go somewhere high, close their eyes, and just listen to the wind, and have the whisper of a word find them? So we did that in this chapter to kind of, that she meditates, she can find a word. Now the word she found on this one was actually quite close, and that's the reason she got it so damn quickly, because it was just down the cliff, pretty much. And at the end of this, it kind of, well, she couldn't find a new one because there wasn't anything wrong near, or it's just, I kind of wanted a little bit of a emotional scene with her, but she couldn't find the one in the afternoon. It kind of made her angry because she was on her own and there was no one there, and she just felt like she was failing. But let's get to some of the characters that we got to, that I've introduced, and I love this too because it comes from one of my favourite shows, the Avatar, Legends of Korra. Now, Korra and Asami, right, they are from Legends of Korra, the Avatar series, and I kind of wanted to adapt them into Skyrim. Everything I do was an inspiration, so I wanted to sort of blend them into Skyrim. Korra's a Nord, but her skin is dark, and it's kind of because their father's a Redguard, but we'll get a lot more into that, especially Asami's name in the Elder Scrolls. I was like, how the fuck do I get this to work? How do I make Asami's name even more friendly? Because it's super Asian, that name, and again, the only Asian things we got in this game is a continent to the goddamn east and a country down south that's slightly somewhat Asian. So I went with that for the backstory, but we'll get into that with a conversation later on, a scene in a future episode, kind of explaining her name. But yeah, so I wanted to put him into Skyrim. Korra is very similar in a certain aspect. She's very talented with magic because, yeah, the whole Avatar thing. She's very prevalent with fire magic. She loves the fire. And she's kind of, you know, she's a unique sort of person because I made her to be like a heavy swinging, you know, gigantic hammer. She'll explain where she got that from because we've seen it before in a different chapter. And yeah, she just uses a hammer up close, and then at range she'll shoot fireballs at people and shit. So it's kind of, I wanted to take some nods from that and chuck them into the Elder Scrolls by adapting Korra from that universe into the Elder Scrolls universe, along with Asami. And at the moment they're mates. Yeah, it's not one else's business, but if you're a fan of the series, you know what roommates are. So I just kind of really want to introduce these two characters into the sheet. I've had them sitting there for a few years ever since I made the mod, and I kind of wanted to just chuck them in there. It is a public mod on the Nexus if you want to check it out. Just hit the link up on my channel and you'll find it. Now, when I first made Selma, I did the whole typical book bites cover. Gave her like a Redguard knight outfit sort of thing, but didn't really realise that she's not from Hammerfell. She's actually from Iron, but who knows? Could be the Mother Scarves, something like that. Because again, it sounds like her father's a Breton and her mother is a Redguard. But again, you know, human crossbreeding sort of, you know, they either come out exactly the way their mother or father is. The kind of the weirdness comes of like the elves mixed with the humans and stuff like that. Which I've got a few in my, you know, not current team, but a few in the Dragonborn service that are things. And it's cool because, again, I like this sort of stuff. I mean, if they're like episodes, right, they're kind of like, episodes to me are kind of like filler episodes, you know, towards the chapters. And going out on quest and meeting new people, having new people join you is awesome, you know. That's cool. So we enjoy doing a quest, you know, by traveling into a ruin. We get to meet a brand new person that will join into the team as a young adventurer who almost died because the lizard that she was following was going to betray her and sacrifice her if you weren't there. And she joins on you because at the end of the day, she came to Skyrim to explore the world. And sure, it's a very dangerous business traveling with the Dragonborn because, you know, they kill dragons or they fight dragons. But at the end of the day, when you're that young, you got this roaring, this roaring heart on to explore, you know, and you want to go and do it. So you kind of don't worry too much about the risk and all that sort of stuff. So she could die, she could make it through, who bloody knows. That's half the fun of the story, is that it writes itself half the time. But yeah, she is joined onto the Dragonborn's team, which is pretty cool. I really like this place. I don't think I've actually ever been here in the 13 years I've played Skyrim, and it was the perfect place when the idea came for Ragni to learn words of power. And it wasn't just like the perfect place for that to take, that sort of learning to find words take place, but it was also the perfect place to have Minerva and Lyris actually have a conversation, because if you're a long time fan of the channel, you know they've already met. But if not, she's in the, like, Lyris and Minerva in the early chapters, like chapter 4 or 5, where they first meet, when Lyris is inside Cinder Mine as a prisoner and Minerva helps her get out. She gets locked up with her. And so this is one of their first conversations in a couple of years. I think that was like the year 199, and the current time is the year 202. So it's been a hot minute since they've you know, had a conversation with each other. And Minerva doesn't even realise that one of the people who's actually following him is actually another prisoner that she helped escape, a young Breton who was a Forsworn, but turned away from it because she was getting touched up with other male Forsworn, and she didn't really appreciate that. So yeah, it's time to recollect not just that, but what I realised when we were talking about the old squad members that got out of Cindermine, Senturos was sitting right across watching the Dragonborn, and he heard a familiar name because there's quite a few of them that escaped Cindermine. Two of them are actually in Sigund's, one's a wench and one's a soldier, and the High Elf actually went and joined Senturos, and she died on, I think, chapter The Return, at Fort Sungard in the Markarth region. I think she was killed by a dragon or she was killed by troops. I don't really remember which one, but he overhears the name, and this kind of lets them both know what happened to the last person that they have no idea about. Like, what happened to the High Elf that was in this group that helped them escape. It wasn't Minerva. And, you know, it's kind of like a, I don't know, it was just the perfect piece of the puzzle, being right where he needed to be at the right time to kind of let these women know that knew her, that escaped Cinder Mine with her, that she died. And that's what I love about this story, is that if I was to do this shit again, right, I would not be able to do this chapter exactly the same. If I was to even follow the chapters, I wouldn't be doing the same, because, again, Lyris could be dead by now, especially that Cyrindil, she might still be alive in the next playthrough. So it was kind of a piece of a puzzle, just connecting them all together, sort of where they all are at, and letting the two people that knew her at one stage in their lives know that she's died. That was pretty cool for me personally. That was like putting a sort of lid on that, you know, on that jar and chucking it into the ocean. That was pretty cool for me personally. Sigund might be a proud Nord, but she understands that she was wrong and Senturos is right in trusting the Dragonborn's feelings. And she's also kind of intrigued of the dream that Senturos had, and this is way back when I wanted to discover the weapons. I kind of had the Imperial Dragonite weapon set, the sword and the shield. You see, these two characters are mirrors of each other, and mirrors of myself, in a certain way. Now, the weapons that they both use, and the armors that they both use, are both made by separate, but the same mod authors. The same mod author made both of these armors that they're wearing, and the same mod author made both the weapons and the shield they use. And to me, I've always played a male character in roleplay games, but if I was different, if I was a mirrored version of myself, I'd play a female character, and since I play an Imperial, she's a Stormcloak. They're mirrored versions of each other. So she's kind of interested in his dream, because that dream was him finding the weapons of the Dragon Knight, which is like my ESO character. Kind of wanted to implement that story into my game, where his tomb was found in Skyrim in the Solitude region. Maybe he retired many years after, or 40 or 50 years later, because he's an immortal or some shit. and left his weapons behind. And Senturos had a dream from this person to go find this weapon. It's a bit weird, but at the end of the day, Senturos named himself after my ESO character because his name was Senturos Farn. It's just a bunch of mindfuckery if I try to explain it. I'll sit here for like 10 minutes talking about it. But that was his weird dream. He was led to this location from Whiterun to the tip of Solitude to find his weapons. And there's going to be a conversation there. I don't know if I have it on the next chapter, like straight up. I want to go do the Cecilia Freya Serana thing, and then switch right back into the bar where they're on the piss. They're drinking some mead, and she actually discusses his weird dream, which will kind of lead into, well, maybe the same ancient blacksmith who made him, and some discussions about that will come up on, especially, well, Sigund's heritage, kind of alluding to it. Might leave some questions in Senturos' head, but he's probably going to be a bit fucking drunk at the time. Anyway, we'll move on from this, and we'll get into... Well, we'll get past the next ruin, because again, she discovers it, because it's so damn close, and she gets into that, and she discovers that. I kind of want to get into the more emotional scenes that I enjoyed doing. The ones I was proud of. One of them you've already seen on YouTube, hopefully. And the second one is a bit more of a sort of surrender moment. I really like this scene because you've got an Imperial soldier, a Stormcloak soldier, an ex-Imperial and Stormcloak soldier, and an Imperial Stormcloak soldier. Bit of mindfuckery, but it's just like the perfect people being stuck together. Now I like this because everyone's kind of out. It's just Sigund and the Senturos kind of guard an entrance, you know. They've gotten to a point in their time to where they're comfortable with each other, and Sigund can joke with him and make fun of him. You know, she's grown quite comfortable with Senturos being around, somewhat relieved that he's around. They're friends. You know, even though they wear the armor of their enemies, they no longer see that blockage, that wall that sat there for so long. When they first met, they were rather hostile towards each other. And you know, Sigund tried to warm up to Senturos. Senturos told her to fuck off. And then much later on, Senturos tried to warm up to Sigund, and then Sigund told him to fuck off. We're trying to kill him. And they're in that stage now where they can trust each other. They're good friends. They've fought by each other's side for a couple months, and they have dropped that guard that they both have. And during this episode, Sigund's joking with him, and he's joking back with her. But then he kind of gets angry. You know, he understands that Sigund's the rebel, and there's other rebels there, young Nords and even other Nords. But he knows in the back of their mind that they are Nords, and Skyrim is their home, and they're fighting against the Empire. But they're not Imperials, they're not from Cyrodiil, they're Nords, regardless if they fought for the Empire, they're the younger generation. But when he locks eyes with an Imperial that was in the Legion and betrayed the Legion and is currently killing, well not currently, but killing Imperial soldiers, he kind of falls prey to his anger. Because, again, he's most likely hungry, and he's cold. And they're not good for your mood. That pisses you off. Especially when you're talking to an actual proper traitor. You know, everyone that might be wearing the blue might be a traitor to the Empire in some regard, but this chick is the traitor. The absolute traitor. There's a reason for that, and we'll get more into different scenes, but I've already talked about it in previous chapters, that she was rescued by the Northern Legion, by Ulfric's men. She agreed with them when the Empire surrendered. She went back north of them, aided them with the markup incident. Eventually, when it all died down, she fell in love with one of Ulfric's... Well, she's already fallen in love with one of Ulfric's men. He participated in a sort of, like a free speech movement with Imperials were there, and it sort of turned into a fight with some Nord, threw a bottle at an Imperial soldier, and it burst out into a battle, sort of like the Imperial soldiers slaughtered the Nords. And her lover, her husband, was one of them, and basically, fucking he died, and she was only like a month or a week off from having a child. And so her hatred for the Empire is because of the surrender, and for them killing her husband, who was a Nord. And she's got a daughter in the Stormcloaks, but she's a tall Imperial with red hair and pale skin, so she looks like a goddamn Nord. And this dude, I love this dude because it was actually inspired from a preset I saw on the Nexus, and a very interesting character idea from the last one was called Greycloak, where he basically he joined, he was in the Imperial forces for the Great War, left, same thing, joined the rebellion, killed a young Imperial woman, had a really hard, a soul-reaching moment of guilt, and walked away from the Stormcloaks, and then just focused on killing Thalmor, sort of thing. And he's kind of walked away from both of them. But in this issue right here, where Senturos has pulled his blade out and threatened to cut this Imperial trader down, Sigund has brought a blade out in case she does make a move. But instead of doing what she would have normally done, which was fire back and get angry, she's talked him out of it. You know, she's not, you know, gotten angry or defensive. She's kind of, I don't know, used her female charm, and, you know, as a friend, she's made him walk away and taken him to the ends. And this is kind of what I want to do on the next one, on the next episode, is maybe to borrow this idea, because like I said, I like to borrow ideas from the end of episodes and move them on to the next one. They might be in the inn, you know, a few mead mugs down. She asks about his dream, and he goes like, and they have this kind of weird conversation where they discuss that maybe their weapons were made by the same person, but given to different people. Things like that. But other than that, yeah, it was a fun episode. Now, let's get to the very end of it real quick, because I don't want to waste too much of your time, but this scene was kind of like, this is really what I wanted to do, right? When the Creation Club stuff came out, it was pretty shit, you know, its implementation. But when I saw this armor, the Knights of the Nine Reforged armor, I loved it, because it looked like a Nordic Knights of the Nine armor. It didn't look like the Crusaders armor, it looked like a Nord Knight of the Nine. And when I created this character, I want it to be sort of a mature character, like an older Nord. And I kind of want it to be a father figure to the Dragonborn, you know, because when she looks at him, she sees her father. And when he looks at her, he sees his youngest daughter. You know, it's this sort of bond where he will take the place of a father figure amongst their journeys. If he survives, he returns home. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And it will break her heart, which would be fucking awesome for the story. I dead set tell you that it will break the Dragonborn in plenty of places, because this is where their relationship sort of is, where they'll talk about things, personal things, and he'll kind of be like a mentor in a certain manner to the Dragonborn that kind of checks up on her and makes sure she's okay. And he's, like I said, he's a father figure to the Dragonborn. And if he dies, it could be a moment of emotional breaking point for the Dragonborn, to where she kind of gets a bit colder and a bit more rough, I guess, a bit more of a, you know, not show so much emotion. I don't know, but again, it could be a thing where he is killed by a dragon and things like that, which could change her. But I don't know. Like I said, the story sometimes writes itself. He could live through it. He could die. We will see. And that's the fun thing about making these episodes and even these chapters, that not all of it's planned. A lot of it goes to the wind and shit happens, essentially. Find around and fuck. Find around. No, let me rephrase that. It's fuck around and find out. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you like it, give it a like. If you dislike it. If you didn't like something in it, let me know, because constructive feedback is always good. I actually appreciate it. And if you did like it, let me know, because comments actually help it out in the algorithm, and I'll find more people out there that do enjoy these stories. If you want to subscribe if you want. I'm not going to tell you if you can. Do what the fuck you want, pretty much. But anyway, other than that, I'm going to catch you guys in the next video, and I'll see you then. Look out yourselves. Peace out.